This is a sad reality and a mockery of our democratic process again that Buhari unfortunately, unadvisably conferred the highest honor in the Federation of the Republic of Nigeria on a president-elect that is yet, of course, to be sworn in or to take an oath of office. What a mockery! What a mockery to a generation! What a mockery to a democratic process! Could this be a way of mocking democracy, or perhaps, of course, an abuse of office? It is so unfortunate that the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria could confer the same honor on the president-elect who has not been recognized constitutionally. And this is the experience, and this is what we are seeing in the most controversial and most contested, of course, presidential election, where, of course, the legitimacy and legality of the pronouncement by INEC, of course, remains a subject of litigation, a subject of legal fireworks. And it behoves on the judiciary at this time to, of course, interpret the law, because when two parties stand before justice, the court of law, they know the truth, but it is only the judge that is at trial, that is on trial, and the case, of course, is not far from here. According to the Constitution and the provision of the Constitution, it is only the Chief Justice of the Federation, of course, who can administer oaths of office for the President of the Federation. The oath is administered by the Chief Justice of Supreme Court of Nigeria, or the person for the time being appointed to exercise the functions of that office. It is not all commerce affair. And Buhari saying that he has run his race and has finished his course. We begin to wonder, what could that mean? Is it, of course, to confer the GCFR on the president-elect without allowing the due process and, of course, let down procedures to have its course? Could he, of course, trying to hide some things we never can tell from the masses of this country? Of course, he owes the masses an explanation. Why should that be in a hurry? Well, could it mean that we have two presidents within the Nigerian system? That could be so funny. Why is it that he was ill-advised to make such pronouncement under, of course, the democratic and constitution of the Nigerian state, which only recognized one president at a time and one vice president, conferring both highest honor to the president-elect and his vice, amounts to a total disregard of rule of law and the democratic process. What if, of course, the otherwise happens, as we can see that the nomination, double nomination, bordering on Shetima's, of course, fates will be heard this morning or today, and invariably, whatever comes out of that will chart the way forward, as the Constitution is well spelled out in this position regarding anyone who contradicts or violates, of course, the electoral law by, of course, having double nomination in different constituencies within the same election. could be seen, of course, to have committed such offense and which is liable to maximum 2 years imprisonment. And some people, and of course, so many school of thought has it that that will no longer have effect, in as much as the president has conferred the greatest and highest honor in the land on the president-elect. But this could not be true because the Constitution is very clear in that matters or in such issues. And I confirm, of course, from the points of view of the Constitution that it is only the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Nigeria has such prerogative, or someone who he might, of course, appoint for such exercise of such function on his behalf. Otherwise, the executive has no power within the Constitution, within the confines of the Constitution, to make such, of course, confinement, which, of course, by the law is not yet recognized as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Buhari's statement is mere, of course, rhetorics and a way to exercise his and abuse his, of course, office before he leaves. He finally leaves, and people cannot wait, of course, to see the end. Yes, I think Buhari should not be in a hurry to have pronounced such or conferred such highest honor in the land on the president-elect, seeing that, of course, the validity of the declaration by INEC remains the subject of litigation. And part of that case will be held today, being the 26th day of May 2023, of course, where a prayer requesting the disqualification of Shetima and TINUBU in the race, of course, under the Constitution, the Electoral Act 115D, of which stipulates that anyone who is found culpable or indulges in the nomination, double nominations, of course, will be disqualified and will also attract the maximum of 2 years imprisonment. So if Buhari, of course, understood the position of the law, he shouldn't have been in a haste, or perhaps he could have something he must explain to Nigerians, or possibly trying to cover up. It is the sad reality we are trapped in. Whatever be the case, of course, we are committed to bring your way the unbiased reportage of events, of course, breaking the news and giving in-depth analysis. To this end, I will want to say thank you to my esteemed, of course, subscribers. And if this is the first time you are watching Corwave TV, please kindly hit the subscription button. I plead so that you can help us project this news and get it across to your friends and neighbors on issues happening within the Nigerian state. Please, it doesn't take anything much, of course, to hit the subscription button. I would plead, or please, just do me the favor, hit the subscription button so that the YouTube can project, of course, our view to more larger populace who might want to know the true position of events within the Nigerian state. And by so doing, we are helping humanity in educating them, of course, and reorienting them on their own fundamental rights and what is needful and what should be done, of course, to continue to hold the government accountable and, of course, responsible for the actions and inactions, and to improve the welfare of humanity within this, of course, space. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate And now we have to go back. Buhari said he has finished his race and, of course, has run his race and has finished his course. It is so sad that a man who plunged, of course, the entire country into poverty, into penury, most Nigerians lost their jobs, their source of livelihood. Within these last 8 years, life has become most horrible, most horrifying. People dying, most over millions of Nigerians are living in IDPs. In terms of security, Buhari scored zero. In terms of economy, that is the worst experience so ever in the history of Nigeria. In terms of management and, of course, defense of democratic rules and the rights of the masses, it is absolutely zero. And then, to what extent can we say that the damage done by Buhari could not be recovered in the next century? Of course, but he went on to say he has run his race and has finished his course. What would you want to say regarding this assertion? Could it be, of course, that he is living in denial of the reality, or he is not in terms with the problems and the plight of the Nigerian masses? What a shame, what an aberration. Of course, for a man who made several promises to fight Boko Haram within 6 months, unfortunately, Boko Haram has gained more momentum, attacking the Nigerian Defense Academy and overrunning military facilities across the length and breadth of this country. Ordinary Boko Haram and Fulani militias threatening the existence of several ethnic nationalities within this country. And yet he has the gall to say that he has run his race and has finished his course. Is it the cause of Nigerians' masses or the cause of a peculiar interest? What is exactly the position from the perspective of the masses, of the common masses on the street? Buhari has not done anything to alleviate the sufferings of the masses. Neither has he, of course, any prospects to this effect. It's so unfortunate that he's leaving Nigeria more indebted than ever before. The debt profile of Nigeria have exponentially escalated to more than 77 trillion naira. And yet, without any commensurate, of course, economic impact positively to show for it. And yet, this man is telling you and all the world that he has run his race, where the military, of course, are ill-equipped and could not confront the myriads of security challenges bordering within the internal security of the Nigerian state, where, of course, most of the militaries are demoralized, most of them have resigned, most of them are in the most, of course, uh, unbearable and most deforming nature. Most of them have been amputated. For those who survived, of course, several degrees of amputations and deformations, resulting to the inability of the government of Nigeria to equip the military for the required combat against the insurgency and, of course, the militants who are more equipped with, of course, modern facilities and armories. And no wonder they overrun the Nigerian Defense Academy and left, of course, the entire facility in debris and ashes. What could this man have done? What could be beaten within his heart to have made such statement? He has done what is expected of him, perhaps by those who, of course, ensured that he of course, become the president against the wish of the people. Even those who were shouting "Say Baba" today have denied, of course, his person and would not want to identify with him. The same man is telling Nigerians that he has run his race and has finished his course. What exactly is that course? Is it the cause to plunge Nigerians into abject poverty? Is it the cause to overrun the Nigerian state by the Fulani militias? Is it the cause that Nigerians, over 90% of the populations of the Nigerian people, are conferred and certified to be multidimensionally poor, where we have a certified and verified, of course, statistics that more than 133 million Nigerians are living below poverty line. Not just below poverty line, but multidimensionally poor. Is that the achievements of the Buhari's regime or dispensation? What a shame. We are plunged into, of course, ethnic and religious war with an unending, of course, rhetorics. Why are we more divided within these 8 years than ever before? Is it the cause he has finished, or is it the race he has, of course, run? Well, that is left for Nigerians to ask him these questions. And I want to know what exactly is your own position regarding this very controversial statement, of course, and the actions of Buhari as he, of course, winds up within few days in office. Yes, let me know what is your own take on through the comment section as we continue to bring your way the Obenga news as it is hot here in Nigeria. Stay tuned and keep, of course, eyes crossed as we continue to serve humanity in this capacity.